What's up, basketball fans? Welcome to the Raptors Report. It's time to talk about the Toronto Raptors. First, guys, just a quick update. I know I've been away from the Raptors for quite a while, not making videos. My grandma, unfortunately, just passed away a few weeks ago, and it's been rough. She was hospitalized 2 weeks prior to that. Also, my ears are both plugged really badly. I'm also very sick. So if the audio seems a little bit off, I genuinely can't tell how loud I'm speaking. I'll try to edit it and hopefully make it sound a little bit better. But let's talk about the Toronto Raptors, guys. The Raptors have announced they are signing G League blue guard Jahmi'us Ramsey to a 10-day contract. The former Kings second rounder has averaged 20 points, 20.6 points, 7.8 rebounds, and 3 assists in the G League this season, Shams was reporting. Now, looking at these stats right away, you'd probably think he's a forward, right? But absolutely not. Let's talk about some of the moves that the Raptors have made today. They've also announced another signing, and they've also waived a player as well. So I will be covering all of that in today's video, so let's get right into it. Now, Jahmi'us Ramsey is actually listed as a shooting guard. He's listed at 6'3", 190 pounds. He was drafted way back in the 2020 draft. I know it seems like a long time ago now. In my head, I still feel like that's a few years ago. He's only 22 years old. He's still very young. Now, taking a look at his G League statistics, I do want to correct that Shams did get his rebounds wrong. He's actually averaging 8.3 rebounds, 3.8 assists, 22.3 rebounds. He's shooting 55.5% from the field. Also shooting the three-point ball, exceptionally well at 41.9%. He's also getting you some steals as well, 1.3 steals. Now, for those who may not be familiar with Jahmi'us Ramsey's game, let's go through a player comparison who I think is a really good comparison for those that like to kind of, do player comparisons. Now, I was watching some of his clips, and the first player that really stood out to me, 6'3", 190 pounds, he's very strong. And looking at his game, part of it really reminds me of Marcus Smart. And I'm not saying he's exactly like Marcus Smart. He's he's really strong though. Even though he's only 190 pounds, 6'3", he's built like a linebacker. He's got a tremendous strength to him. He's also got questionable shot selection as well. But let's quickly talk about the positives first. He's able to do a lot of things. He's very athletic. He can attack the basket really well. Most of the times when you see guys that are listed at 6'3" or under that, the biggest difficulty they have is attacking the rim and finishing at the basket. He does a tremendous job of attacking the rim, really fighting through contact, and he uses his body to absorb some of the contact really well. Like I was saying, he's a really strong guard, and he's tremendous at attacking the basket and getting around some of the bigger men as well. Now, in terms of his limitations, he obviously has some limitations. His shot selection can definitely be questionable at times. He'll shoot a lot of threes, just like how you saw pretty much with Marcus Smart with the Celtics. At times, he was taking too many shots. I think that's the thing with Jahmi'us, is sometimes he'll get ahead of himself in that department. Sometimes just taking a little bit too many shots, getting out of control. But in terms of some of the things he does really well, he's also a really strong defender. He's someone, although listed at 6'3", can guard bigger players because of his physicality. He absorbs contact really well, and he's a smart defender as well. He's not going to try to do too much. He does do a good job of, even in the paint when he's guarding some of the other players, he'll foul at times, but he does a great job of just getting his hands up, just using his body weight and throwing it around efficiently. And, as you see there, he can get you some points. He can shoot the three-point ball pretty decently. I'm hoping his shot has come along a long ways, because he did struggle with the Kings beforehand, but it seems like he's performing well at the G League level. Now, this gives the Raptors something they don't currently have, which is, you could say they kind of have Ochai Agbaji in that position, but when you talk about, having a shooting guard, similar to how Marcus Smart is, he's not a point guard, he's not a shooting guard, he's a combo of both. And I think that's the similar thing could be said about Jahmi'us as well. The thing with Jahmi'us is he can do a bunch of little things that, some point guards can do, but he's also a great defender at the shooting guard. Now, this gives the Raptors something different, because when you look at the Raptors point guards, they have a lot of the skinnier point guards in Emmanuel Quickley that aren't able to guard some of the shooting guards. If you recall, Marcus Smart can guard small forwards, shooting guards, he can guard point guards, and that's something Jahmi'us can do really well. He's really physically strong, which gives the Raptors a different type of defender they have. And like I said, I think one of the hardest positions to find in this NBA is to find a shooting guard that can defend really well. That is why Alex Caruso is coveted so well around the NBA. It's not easy to find 3 and Ds, but it's even harder to find 2 and Ds in the NBA, in my personal opinion, because you're at a weird size there where you have to be able to guard point guards, but also shooting guards and small forwards at time as well. So Jahmi'us is going to be really fascinating. He gives the Raptors something different. I'm excited. I really do hope he gets the opportunity with the Raptors as well. But let's talk about our next move that the Raptors have made. Shams Charania was also reporting that the Toronto Raptors are signing forward Mouhamdou Gueye on a 2-way NBA deal. Gueye appeared in 1 game for Toronto over a 10-day contract after spending the season with the G League Raptors 905. Now, we saw a little bit of Mo G, in preseason and summer league. We saw what he could do. He's similar to kind of Chris Boucher, right? I want to quickly go to his stats here. He's been with the Raptors this season in the G League, but over the last few seasons in the G League, you take a look at his stats, sir. Someone that can give you some points. He's not a great 3-point shooter. I don't think he ever will be. But you look at what he does, and it's quite obvious why the clear comparisons when we talk about Mo Gueye and Chris Boucher are very similar. He's a high energy guy. He'll get you some points, he'll get you some rebounds, and he'll get you some blocks as well. As you see there, he's averaging 8.7 points with the Raptors 905, also averaging 2.5 blocks as well. Now, the thing with Mo Gueye is he's similar to Chris Boucher in some ways, but he also has a few things that Chris Boucher does not. Like, with all respect to Chris Boucher, when you watch Chris Boucher, he's a straight line drive. When you have transition, he's not going to go side to side. He runs just straight in a line and attacks the basket, whereas Mo Gueye, he's a little bit better going side to side. So in terms of body movement, in terms of how he's able to move with the ball, he does a little bit of a better job, in my opinion, of moving. He also has, in my opinion, again, I hope Chris Boucher is not watching this, because you'd be surprised, guys. A lot of players do watch YouTube videos as well. Chris, I love you, but Mo does a few things a little bit better. He reads the game a little bit better in terms of, where to be positioning wise. I know Chris sometimes does make some bonehead plays as well. Mo seems to be a little bit less of that. He seems to be a little bit more leveled in terms of just jumping at shots. But pretty much when you take a look at body types, exactly the same. 6'9", 210. Chris Boucher is around the same, I believe. He's around 215. So, Mo Gueye's also 25 years old. He's much younger, right? It is the NBA. And it's unfortunate because this could be said in almost any field. If you can find someone that can do what you do for a fraction of the price, they'll absolutely replace you in a heartbeat. And it kind of seems like Mo Gueye is ultimately going to be the replacing of Chris Boucher. I'm not saying that he's at the same level of Chris Boucher in terms of point production and his experience as well, but it's similar. He's going to come in and be a high energy guy. He's going to be a 9/10 man off the bench. He's not going to be playing every game, but he'll come in once in a while, provide some energy, block some shots, and provide some quality minutes for the Toronto Raptors. But now we do have to question, the Raptors signed Mo Gueye to a 2-way contract. They also have Jonte Porter, and they also have Carlton, I'm mixing up the names here. They signed to a 2-way a few days ago as well. So who did they move? Well, we also got some more news regarding that as well. And shout out to Esfandiar Barani on Twitter. He said the Raptors have waived Markquis Nowell as part of a signing of Mo Gueye to a 2-way deal. Really, really unfortunate for Markquis Nowell. We heard about how much he loves Toronto as a whole and just his story overall. When you look at Markquis Nowell, he's listed at 5'7", 160 pounds. For him to be able to make it to the NBA, guys, is truly exceptional. You don't realize the heart you have to be that short and to make it to the NBA. You have to work that much harder. You have to be that much more talented, because we know in basketball, height makes all the difference in the world. And despite that, he had a spectacular season with the Raptors 905. 15 points, shot 42% from the field, 36.8% from the three-point line. Also was averaging an amazing 7.7 assists, 3 rebounds, and nearly 2 assists a game. He was giving it his all. He's talked so much about the Raptors, and he's done a wonderful job in the Raptors 905. He was injured as well, but I believe he was selected at the G League All-Star game as well. So shout out to Markquis, man. It is unfortunate that, in a sport, there's not one sport out there which, something that's out of your control like height affects it so much. I get it, but it is really unfortunate for Markquis. He's 24 years old. I still believe he's going to find his footing in the NBA. He's far too talented not to be, but that's just the way the NBA works. It's moved so quickly due to injuries. Like, even you look at someone like a Ron Harper, he was injured and the Raptors waived him right away. But I'm very curious to hear what you guys think about all of these moves. Which moves are you excited about? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And there won't be any shout out, guys. So again, rest in peace to my grandma. We used to watch basketball. We used to watch the Raptors together. It's been a little bit of a rough go, guys. So I apologize for not posting as much. That will be it. So thank you so much for watching, and rest in peace, Grandma. I miss you.